Hello everyone, Ed from On My Turntable here. Wanted to put out another video that showcased some of the 12-inch singles in my collection. The time frame I'm focusing on here is stuff that I was heavily into and listening when I was in high school, my senior year. So we're talking 1983, 84, 85. Very much into rap and hip hop at the time, a lot of R&B grooves, and also a lot of dance and club tracks as well. So I don't think a lot of this stuff gets showcased that much here in the VC. And actually sort of the impetus for doing this was Brandon from Mr. Hall of Fame. One of his responses to my Female Spotlight video thread, he did a whole episode on female R&B artists from this time period, and I have a lot of that stuff as well. So it kind of made me think about, oh, I got to go back and listen to that again, because I used to be into this stuff a lot when I was in high school. So a lot of great memories in playing some of these tracks. So with that, we'll start off with Mr. LL Cool J from 1985 and Rock the Bells, the 12-inch single here. I think he was all of 19 years old when he did this, a landmark track off of a landmark album, Radio. Basically, I think it made the career of him and Rick Rubin at the same time. An unbelievable track, Rock the Bells from LL Cool J. Phenomenal. Another classic rap hip-hop track by the Untouchable Force organization, better known as UFO, is the 1-2 punch of Hangin' Out, and of course, the original Roxanne, Roxanne, which spawned dozens of answer records. I think even Brandon did, he showed Roxanne Shante, the real Roxanne, as one of his LPs in his female spotlight. So U2FO, Roxanne, Roxanne, phenomenal right here. Also played a lot back in the day, and I've been playing this again, I forgot how really good it is Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew with the show, with Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Unbelievable tour de force of vocal interplay, a little bit of Inspector Gadget in there. And this is the version, the early pressing, that has the lyric from the Beatles' Michelle that was originally on this track, but they never bothered to get rights to use it, so in later pressings it was taken off. But if you're not familiar with this at all, you should definitely, it's just a landmark track, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew with the show. Good stuff. And last on the rap hip-hop side is Houdini with Funky Beat. Houdini was kind of a silly rap band, kind of goofy lyrics. I remember getting this for specifically the mega mix on the back so I can get my hands on Freaks Come Out at Night, which is a fun track by Houdini. So once again, another great hip-hop rap band from that time period of the mid-80s. Moving on to some dance stuff. Janet Jackson, my favorite track of hers from Control. This is the 12-inch mix of The Pleasure Principle, remixed by Shep Pettibone. I'm not sure if this version made it anywhere else other than here. This is the one track off of Control that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis didn't write. This was written by Monty Marr, who was a member of the time as well. That's the connection. But just a great track off a great album is Janet Jackson, Pleasure Principle. And Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produced a lot of other artists that weren't Janet Jackson, had huge success on the R&B charts. I remember listening to a lot of Cherelle in high school. This is the 12-inch of You Look Good to Me off of her LP High Fidelity, written and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Also written and produced by them, Cherelle with Alexander O'Neal, Saturday Love. Still gets a lot of airplay. I hear this all the time on satellite radio. It's just a phenomenal track, the duet of these two with Saturday Love. They also produced the SOS Band and kept their career going. And this is The Finest, the 12-inch of The Finest right here off of the album that they wrote and produced for them. Another great mid-tempo groove R&B track right here. Need to get in some Prince, of course, and at the time, it was all about Raspberry Beret, right? This is the 12-inch single of Raspberry Beret. At this time, everything Prince like that's coming out in 84, 85, I'm buying up. Not only for the A-sides and for the 12-inch mixes, but also the B-sides as well, which you couldn't find anyplace else. She's Always in My Hair is the B-side of this, I believe. Yes, it is. And so once again, a lot of times you can't get these mixes and tracks anyplace else other than these 12 inches. So a classic here, Raspberry Beret, Prince. Moving on to the dance club stuff, a big hit back in the day for us. Come out of Brooklyn, New York was Alicia II Turned On, remixed by Shep Pettibone. Every thought and intent to sound like Madonna was purely on point. You'd think it was Madonna if you weren't listening carefully enough, but it is a phenomenal dance track that still holds up from back in my 80s house parties and club music that I was listening to when I was in high school. Also played a lot Phyllis Nelson with I Like You, a great 12-inch here, also from New York, Great dance club track. She actually died pretty young, but as a sidebar, one of her sons is the founding member of Boyz II Men, which I read on Wikipedia, interestingly enough. So Phyllis Nelson, I Like You, a great classic club track. Also played back in the day off of Sleepin' Bad Records, Dar Braxton, Jump Back, Set Me Free, a great funky dance track, really, really cool, also from New York, really, really good stuff right here. And also played a lot of Joyce Sims and Lifetime Love. Once again, this is a great dance track right here on YBC, Yale's radio station, 98.7 KISS FM, all the urban stuff I was listening to back in the day here in the East Coast. All those great radio stations would play all this stuff. So Joyce Sims and Lifetime Love. And lastly, Nancy Martinez for Tonight. I still hear this on satellite radio. This is one of those buried treasures on the 80s station they play a lot. A great Miami Latin sound, funky track. And she's actually from Canada, believe it or not. So Nancy Martinez with For Tonight. So that's it. I just wanted to show some of the dance tracks and 12-inch stuff in that genre that took me back to a time when I was young and groovy, and who knows what was coming next. So that was me back in high school, a little bit of that anyway. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate the dialogue, subscriptions, the likes, the comments. Feel free to let me know what maybe some of your dance tracks were back in the day you used to get around and listen to. That'd be great to know. So with that, everybody have a good rest of the day whenever you're watching this. And as always, like I say at the end, with everything going on, let's take a moment to be kind to one another. Thanks, folks.